Legion is the new series on FX, and it was created by Nola Hawley as the adaptation of the comic book character Legion, who is known as David Haller, and he is the son of Professor X. In this show, he is played by Dan Stevens, and in this show, the story is about David, who is a schizophrenic, but he is also someone with superpowers. One of these personalities who has been with him throughout his life is Lenny, who in the show is revealed to be the Shadow King, who has been with David inside his mind throughout his life. Why is he there? Because he wants to get revenge on Professor X, who once defeated the Shadow King and thought him to be dead, although the Shadow King went into David's mind. And this show is something. I did not like the trailers, I'm going to be honest. At least the first trailer, because I did not watch the other ones. I believe I didn't. This is a show that is anything from conventional, is anything from traditional. This show, in every technical aspect, in every conceivable way, this show is different than any other show I've seen. Not superhero shows, TV shows, period. The way this is directed, how it's edited, how they shoot this, how they integrate music into the plot and the story and the characters, my God, this is some unique way of using elements of storytelling and filmmaking to convey emotion, to convey anger, happiness, and sadness, and just about anything you can think of. They convey it in a way you had never seen before. And even exposition, the exposition does not seem like exposition at all. I was thinking about these episodes, this show, to make the review, and I couldn't think of a single instance of exposition or where the exposition was blatant or aggressive or boring. This show is going at 1,000 miles an hour, and it doesn't stop to feed you information. It doesn't stop to exactly explain what is going on. This show trusts you to be someone intelligent, to go along with it, to have a story that you give a damn about, and characters that are interesting, and a plot that is just not linear. This plot has many threads to it, it has many layers, and it has so many miles of things to understand. It doesn't just stop. That's it. This show doesn't stop, and by the end of the first season, it still hasn't stopped. I could enumerate so many great moments in this show. For instance, in the very first episode, the dance sequence in the Institute. My God, if you don't get hooked by that point, I don't know. There's also a great sequence when David is trapped inside his own mind, about in the 5th or 6th episode, and his friends are looking for him, and it suddenly becomes a silent film. It's something that, how does anyone even remember to portray something that way nowadays? They don't. Nobody does. The directing is beyond borders excellent in this show, and it has so much style to it, and this is not a situation of style over substance. The substance is constantly there. It doesn't stop having substance. However, the style changes so much. I would pay to watch a movie with so much style and so many different styles in a theater one day. But the best aspect about this show is honestly the writing. Everything is at an excellent level, but the writing in this show, for characters, for the world, for their powers, for their motivations, for the villain, for everything is amazing. This show mostly focuses on David, but you don't get any lag as far as the development of other characters is concerned. These characters are very well fleshed out. Sid is probably my favorite character in this show. She is so wonderful. I love her individually. I love her relationship with David. I love what she brings to the show. She brings a level of innocence. She brings a level of genuinity. This is a character that is very fragile, but she is one that transmits strength to the other characters, especially David, who she wants and needs to support. There is so much to this character that I can only hope that we find out more about in Season 2. But man, was she wonderful. And Rachel Keller, who's the actress behind this role, is stunning. She is stunning as far as visuals go, and she is stunning as far as her performance and acting chops are concerned. And I want to see a whole lot more of her in everything now. I know she was only in Fargo, and I'm going to start watching some Fargo now. David is also incredibly interesting. My problems with the first episode on the show is that it looked incredible. It was incredible in every technical aspect, and the story was definitely hooking. It was definitely interesting, and I wanted to follow the series from then on. The problem was that David, as a character, I had no reason to root for him or to be interested in him. But then comes the second episode, where we go into his backstory, where we go and meet him as a kid, and we have the gangriest boy in the world. And this character is something special. This character is something unique. And from then on, this show became what the mini-series Legion should have been a couple of years ago in comic books. That series sucked. Honestly, it sucked. But David became something special, and he's played by Dan Stevens, who is also a wonderful, wonderful actor, and he was so well fleshed out, and he helped flesh out so many other characters in this show. The show is so unique, as I said, but it is quirky as hell, and all the characters around the show who embellish it are something that is just wonderful. You want to follow each and every one of these people. You feel for each and every single one of these people, and they are so different from each other, and they all have their different motivations, and between them, they all have their different relationships. I'm not a fan of Jermaine Clement. He was great in this show. His character was so funny. He was so unexpected. The type of character that he was, the type of plot that he served, the purpose he had on the series. I tell you guys, this is a show that you must absolutely watch. Legion is stunning at every single subject matter that it tackles. It is a superhero show and is amazing at it. It is an action show and it is awesome at it. It is a character study and it is incredibly thoughtful and thought-provoking at it. It is a sci-fi that proposes so many questions and you can't answer them, and that's awesome about it. Let's talk about the Shadow King for a second. The Shadow King is creepy as fuck. He is creepy as fuck. And I'm not talking about Aubrey Plaza playing Lenny. I'm talking about the Shadow King and his powers, especially in the last episode. Holy shit, what he's capable of doing. It's fearful. It's scary, man. And how he takes over Oliver at the end of the series and they ride towards south. I don't know what's going to happen, but as I said, I am now a huge fan of Jermaine Clement, and I'll love him to see him playing schizophrenic and good and evil at the same time. I think he would do wonderfully at it as long as the show keeps at being this good. And going back to the writing, how this show handles having superpowers and being schizophrenic, it's not like any other show or film about superheroes did. This is a show that proposes that this man is schizophrenic. It also then presents you the fact that he has superpowers. But does one really negate the other? This show says no, and it tells you the difficulties of how it is to live with both those situations. And this is something that thematically has always been present in X-Men. Books, comics, movies, anything. Anything. This is a show that treats these characters as real people first, and then think about how they are mutants and how this is a TV show and how you must put some allegory into their situations so people watching the show can have some perspective. The cinematography in here at every point is stunning. There are shots in this that I don't know how they pulled it off. And this is television. We are living in the golden age of television, but these special effects are something that would leave filmmakers ashamed out there. Some filmmakers out there would be ashamed that this show has such incredibly great special effects. Legion is not a show that you confuse with any other show out there about superheroes or not. This is a show that goes beyond expectations. It goes away from conventions and traditionalisms in filmmaking, in storytelling. It is so unique in every single aspect that I can only guess what they can and will do in season 2. Great acting, fantastic characters, and wonderful, wonderful directing. Pitch perfect editing and cinematography that will leave you in awe, as well as the most wonderfully put together soundtrack. Legion is a show for everyone to watch and be intrigued by and ask questions. It is incredibly thought-provoking, and it is definitely the stuff that dreams are made of. What did you think of Legion, my beautiful geekies? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Was this the show that you expected to see from the trailers? Do you want to see more of it in Season 2? What do you think of the last end credit sequence where David gets trapped into that sphere and it flies away? Let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to see your theories about it. And I will probably do a review for Black Sail Season 4 because it also finishes this weekend. Thank you so much for watching, my beautiful geekies. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all so much. So you stay beautiful and you stay geeky. And if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united.